Hello, hello, everybody. I just wanted to go live a little bit this morning and just say hello and how's everybody doing. I wanted to give a little update on the progress here. I've been trying to contact these Bigfoots with regards to the way forward because there are so many guys, and I know the enemy has some plans, and I know some are already doing very bad things. So I'm trying to stop that, of course, and figure out what to do instead. So I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm just one person trying to figure things out myself. But for those new here, we have Bigfoots here, and Bigfoots and hybrids. So Dogmen, Frogmen, Cricket Man. I've pretty much seen one of each, at least here. I'm in southeast Oklahoma, and we also have, the common Bigfoot, people think of when they see one. So we're just trying to figure the way out, the way forward, because we moved here from California not knowing anything about Bigfoots and found out that we have a lot here. So we're trying to, A, survive, but B, I was already a researcher of what's going on in the world, which is a war. If some people are still not aware, yes, it's a war. It's a covert, quiet war. This is why people don't recognize it. I think they sometimes think war is always guns and bombs. Guys, it's not like that at all. War is propaganda. War is changing your way of life. Genocide, cultural genocide. This is all going on right now. So the issue here, though, is with the Bigfoots. I found another plot when I moved to Oklahoma was to release all these cryptids out on the public. And I don't want to scare anybody. I'm just trying to prepare people. It's already happening. They're already out in the cities, guys. People have found Bigfoot structures in major cities like Oklahoma City, Houston. I'm sure they're everywhere. In fact, if you start researching or looking for people reporting sightings, it's all over the world. So anyway, the last I heard was, I was trying to find out from the Bigfoots here if they're able to talk, like, openly talk like a human being with their mouth. Because I kept just hearing growls and grunts. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't they just say something, And then I heard some, like a snort sound. At first, the first spot I heard it was by a horse, so I kind of wrote it off like, oh, maybe it was the horse. But then I heard it later on the other side, so I was like, oh, there's no horses over there, so it's not a horse. Sometimes they'll do that. Like, if you make a mistake, they'll correct your mistake. They would definitely be like, nope, that's not a cedar, that's a juniper tree. If you make a mistake when you're talking, they will correct you. They're hooked up to like the Matrix, what people call the Matrix. It's basically a hive mind weapon system, which could be used for good. It could be used for good. It could be used for synthetic telepathy for all human beings and creatures to all know what each other's thinking and get along and increase intelligence for everybody. But sadly, the communists have control of that right now, the Israeli communists. And so they're using it for war against Christian civilization. But I am trying to figure out how to basically get the Bigfoots on our side, because they're being used by witches like slaves, okay? And I'm trying to free them. Like, you guys don't need to do witchcraft. You don't need to follow witchcraft, do witchcraft, believe in witchcraft. It's all a trick to get you guys to do the war for the Israelis. And you're not the first, you're not the last. They use all kinds of groups, like Antifa, BLM, all those are also, Freemasonry is also front groups for the Israelis. They just believe they're supposed to run the world because, God's chosen them. However, they have not chosen God anymore. They have left God. I don't know if everyone on here has seen my previous posts and everything, but when they're out here doing magic in the forests, getting these little forest creatures to do the bidding for them, that's not following God, guys. We're not supposed to do witchcraft. So they've left God a long time ago. Meister, what are you looking at? He keeps staring over here. The problem is he's eaten food at that bar, so he always looks over at that bar like, is there food? No, Meister, there's no food there. They're closed right now, honey. There's nothing there. But I really love those French fries. He likes French fries. Oh, anyway, so it is what it is, but so I'm basically out here preaching the gospel and trying to teach them not to follow witchcraft. Like, be free, you guys. You don't need to do it, believe it, trust it, follow it at all. I know it's scary to do something new, but we all have to do that. We all have to do that. It's like when I joined the Catholic Church, or actually when I first became like an actual serious Christian later in life. You know, I accepted Christ when I was a child, but when I became a serious Christian later in life, I never realized that Christians were persecuted. You know, I'm in the United States. We don't usually see that kind of stuff. So I didn't realize that. And I think these guys are also afraid of that. They don't want to be persecuted by the Israelis if they start being Christian. Of course they will be. We all are, though, guys. We're all on the same. If you follow Jesus, we're all on the same team anyway. So you're not alone, that's for sure. There's often a lot of little people in here. Hi, Erica. Hi, Kevin. If you see any dark areas, you could just screenshot it and then, like, blow it up. And you'll see faces. There are little people that are in these blackberry, raspberry, blueberry bushes, whatever they are. I'm not sure what they are. I thought they were raspberry, but I saw the berries were really dark the other day. Oh yeah, and the berries are already gone. They love the berries. Absolutely love berries. So we try not to take them from here. But anyway, so I'm trying to free them from witchcraft and have them follow Jesus Christ, you know. And of course, they're hidden from the public, so we need to make it more common language that cryptids and Bigfoots are real. They do exist, because as long as they're hidden, they are very easy pickings for the bad guys to use against people. You know, people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They can't defend against it. So it's like the Bible says, his people perish for the lack of knowledge. And so that's what I'm trying to do too, is try to get the knowledge out there about what I've learned about these creatures and what's going on. While at the same time trying to convert them to Jesus. Like, come on guys, be nice. We need y'all to be nice. Follow Jesus, okay? I'll go down this little aisle here and sing hymns, like Christian hymns. And I do get Mind Spoke. They request songs like Lord of All Hopefulness. The other day I was walking this way thinking about what to sing, and I got a thought in my head, Lord of All Hopefulness. So it was a very pretty song I used to sing for the lady dog man up here, dog woman. Scooby Diva. She looked just like Scooby-Doo, but a female. She had a whole bunch of babies right up at the gate. See, we just moved here, and this place was vacant for like 8 years, something like that. So they were, you know, running amok, of course. They just took it over as their own. And it's a beautiful place with a pond, you know, so they had everything they needed here. And it's a little bit sad because, you know, Donna or I, we would never want to impose on anyone or any creature, you know. We're creature friends. We're friends of the creatures. But of course, we knew nothing about Bigfoots when we moved here. So it is a complete shock that this has happened. But we're trying to do the best we can just to kind of get along here. So it's been okay. But anyway, so if you guys have wild areas by your house, you also have these creatures, but you cannot see them with your eyes, okay? I think it's some kind of blessing, you know, like the veil, they call it the veil. I think I'm saying that wrong. The veil between the worlds and stuff. Well, the veil is definitely on these creatures. So you hear something scurry and you don't see anything, doesn't mean there's not something there. It's not always a lizard, guys. This is where Scooby Diva was. So I'm trying to see if maybe she shows up on the film. But they're there. You have to get your smartphone out and like zoom in. So what I normally do is I zoom in and then I take a picture and then I go zoom in again and look at it for faces and like little creatures. They're not always big. It's from the same giant spider that can mix DNA. They're all the same creature, but they come in big and small because some have mini genes, some have giant genes. And that's actually a theory that Jerry Williams had picked up from studying the ancient hieroglyphs. But it's absolutely looking accurate because I've seen the spider here and we are full of cryptids here. So it definitely looks accurate. So anyway, yeah, I don't know if she's there. Are you there, Scooby Diva? Anyway, so this one, they were doing tunneling here, like these vines grow, and then of course they, go hide in all the little green stuff and by the bridges and everything. So be very careful though if you're looking for these creatures. I don't recommend going alone, and definitely have a weapon of some sort, just in case someone gets upset about you being out there. And always have good intentions when you go out. Just say, "Hi, I'm just here to see what's going on." And that way they'll be more harmonious. Let's put it that way. Anyway, so I hope everyone's having a good day. Check your areas. Preach the gospel to all creatures. It seems to be that they can understand, especially when you sing hymns. I've been told they love to sing. So I'm sure they're all different, but there have been some that have been communicating, like I love to sing, or they'll request a song, things like that. So definitely something to be doing to make friends with the ones in your area, especially because you don't want them on the wrong side. We definitely don't want that. And I have a new friend who's actually not too far from where I live, and she's aware of the Bigfoots too. Her name is Dee, and she runs a YouTube channel. So shout out to Dee of Lady in the Woods. You could find it on YouTube by typing Lady of the Woods with no spaces. And she used to do some live streams. I don't know if she's going to do more, but she's got some up already, talking about the cryptids and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in checking that out. There's also a couple channels where people go out and see the Bigfoot at night. Abnormal Investigations is run by a gentleman named Mike, and he's very brave. He goes out at night and looks for them. There's also OCST, I hope I'm saying that right, O.C.S.T. They're also in Oklahoma and have Bigfoots in their backyard. So sometimes they'll go live and try to catch them on film in their backyard. So that's another one to check out. I think they do Wednesday nights normally. So you can check them out too. So I'm not the only one, guys. I'm not losing my mind. I'm not crazy. This is really happening. And it's really something that we have to figure out what to do about, just to, somehow coexist or come to some kind of conclusion here and stop the witchcraft. That's the most important thing, because the witchcraft that's in the forests obviously is not being used for anything good, guys. These are hidden groups that go out and perform these rituals and sacrifices. So it's not something pretty or nice. Not like, there's some witches that are online that maybe aren't doing those crazy things, They think they're just doing potions in their backyard or in their bedroom or something. I'm not talking about like people who just like dabble. I'm talking about the real witchcraft that people are using for war. Very dangerous stuff. Okay, well anyway, I'll let you guys go. Hope everybody has a great day, and God bless everybody. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.